All right, so I've created this huge site, and you can actually see it with Project North, where the road is happening here, and here's our site right over here. You want to go to level 1, and I called it 160 because I set it up at 160, and I created a whole bunch of levels. If you go through any of your elevations, you can see the level 1, 160 is over here, and the other levels 2 to 7 are here. And really the levels that you're going to primarily work is about 270, 280. Let's see how that works. Let's go back to the site Project North, and you can see that right on top of this, I took out the site, so you can put it back in, but I take it out because it sort of bothers me, so I just want to, for now, erase it. I'm not erasing it, I'm removing it, so for now I cannot see it. Right over here, I draw my silhouette of the site. So the road comes here and it splits, and half of it goes into here, and I draw the outline of the property as such, and I draw some setback that has to do with water issues that I cannot build with full footing and foundation beyond this point. So I just want to quickly go over and see what I have actually in level 1. In level 1, that translates to a series of model lines. Make sure that in fact they are model lines. Make sure that in fact they are model lines, and you get to see the model lines in all of the views. It doesn't matter if it's view number 3, view number 4, you get to see it in all of the views. I'm going to go to the first view again, but this time I'm going to draw a model line, but I'm going to offset my setbacks. Your setbacks, let's say it's 20 feet or 40 feet from the front. So here's my 40, here's my 40, here's my 40. And so I know I cannot build over here. So then I'm going to go with 20 feet of setback of the site. So I changed it to 20 feet. So here's my setback here, and I'm going to leave that portion alone. So I'm just going to quickly change this to a thin line. And I'm going to convert it into regular lines. So I'm just going to make sure that this is actually one of my thin lines. And notice the color changes. You can actually have it red. That would be just as nice. I'm just going to clean this up. And this pretty much gives me my setback silhouette, your envelope, if you want to call it that. So quickly brush this with these. So these are my not my model line, my detail line. So this is the area that I can actually build right over here. So I'm going to build a road over here, then I'm going to start putting some pads over here, and that way I actually fully understand where I'm actually going. You could still turn all of this into model line, convert the lines, and it says convert the model lines to detail lines or convert the detail lines to model lines. That's what I want to do. So I can go back and forth. So I can actually see it in level 4 or 5 if I would like to see it right there. So now here you would like to actually go with your massing and then create your pad. You could have done it in the first level as well. Let's go here, massing, pad, and I just want to do this pad really quick so that I have an understanding of what this outline is going to do to my site. Oops, here. And it has to be an enclosed line. Remember, your pad has to be an enclosed line. So I'm going to erase this. Here's my pad. It's happening at level 1, 0. Let's check it. Let's see what it does to my site. So it chunked that whole area. It says, pretty much I want to do it in this area. Now I'm going to pull my pad up so I have a sense of where things are and where I would like to actually place my building. So I'm just going to go to the site again. And I'm going to place remember how you make reference planes? So I made a reference plane north-south, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to do a section. I'm going to do my section on level 1. It's a little bit easier. I'm going to do my section right on top of here. So here's my section. Start right on top of this line. If you want, you can pull it out so you can manipulate it. Right now, my section is going this way. I just want the tail end of the site to be here so I can actually see which way it's going. You can go all the way to the other side and flip it here too. It's no problem. You can flip it this way or that way. Anyway, I want to see the building, so I want to pull this guy all the way over so I get to see my opening. You could have done it right through this area too. So I'm just going to move my section or do another section. My preference is to do another section. So I'm going to do another section right through here. This is my next section. All right. So in this section, I'm looking in this direction. That's my section number 2. Here's my section. Actually, I had an existing section. It's not a big deal. So here is my section number 2. I want to see what's going on. So here it is. Let's pull it back. So the pad that I created essentially does this. So the site that we had that looked very sloped, it was because Bobby had actually not done the scaling properly. So that's why it didn't come out right. So now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to edit that base. So I'm going to move. I can also move it this way. Okay. So I can move it that way and I can move it to the top right here. That gives me a good sense of what it is that I want to do. So I'm going to go right here. You can actually see where your land is going, but actually I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to go backwards. And so you can see where I would like to actually sink and cut a little bit of that and then cantilever out this way. But you also see what's going on over here. So I'm going to go to that section and pull it up just enough. Okay, so move, take my pad and move it just a little bit, not too much, right there. That looks better. Look at it at 3D, and here you can see you can easily go platform right off of here and get a lot of mileage. This is where a lot of your joy can actually be placed. Let's take a closer look. Here you can actually see where your pad is going. Now, I'm going to take my section and push my pad down again. So I'm going to move it down, if I may, just a little bit so it's out of my way. I get a sense of it. Now I'm going to do some walls. Let's go through level 1. And at level 1, I'm going to make some quick walls right along here and build it. So I'm going to go architecture wall, and I'm going to create these transparent walls. So I'm going to create a wall out of generic. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to name it yellow transparent, and I'm going to say OK. And once I said OK, I'm going to go and edit it, and I'm going to come here where it says by category material. I'm going to hold on to it until I see the 3 dots. Once it opens up, I'm going to create a new material. I'm going to do a right mouse click, change the name to color. I'm going to say yellow, and I'm going to say transparent. All right. Then I'm going to go to appearance, change the appearance to yellow. And I sort of like this a little bit further. Mustard is good. This is good. So I'm going to go with this yellow. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to change its transparency. I'm going to make it a little bit transparent so I see the other side. I take the graphics, check this one so it looks the same and behaves the same. I say OK. I say OK. So now I'm just going to say OK. Here I have that generic yellow, which is transparent. Now I'm going to make my wall by just pointing to this line, that line, this line, that line. And I'm just going to go here because it gives me a sense of where my road is going to be. Okay. That's where my road is, but that's my, there we go. This is my property line. So it is right here where I split, okay? So I'm just going to come back here and look at this in 3D. And I say, where are my walls? I'm just going to temporarily remove the side temporarily out of my way. And then look at the walls right over here. So looking at this site over here, backtrack, look at the 3D. I'm going to take the site, temporarily hide it, hide the element. So now I can see the walls. Okay. So I'm going to take one wall and, and then extrude it substantially, or you can take, a few walls. It's up to you how you want to treat it. Okay. So I'm going to take this wall and extrude that wall from 0. I'm going to go 290, or I can go 300. 300 just to be safe. Okay. So, backtrack. That was, right here. This is it. Okay. So that's my 300 wall. Now I'm just going to brush this wall. I'm just going to take that wall and just simply brush it. Brush, 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 and I think our wall was here, and I'm going to turn around, and I think my wall was here, 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 and it was here, and that's it. Okay. I think I have one more tiny wall here that I left. That's not a big deal. So now let's go look at the site in 3D and open it up. And so here you can actually see and sense the slope of this thing. Put it in color, consistent colors and transparencies. So more realistic is like this. So I should be able to see it through. Somehow it didn't come across. So let's backtrack and make sure that that wall is actually that yellow transparent. It wasn't. Now it's the transparent because I want to see behind the other side of it. So I'm going to brush this with that. And there my walls are. These are my walls. And this allows me to actually see the slope. And you can take some of these walls, you can take that wall and lower it because it doesn't need to be that tall for you to be able to understand what's going on. So I think this is just the right height. I'm going to again take, all right, so I did the walls, and what these transparent walls do, they allow me to see through, and you can increase the transparency, but it actually creates a zone where your road is coming, where you're going to build your building and the platform, and it immediately gives you a sense of what your slope is like and where you would like to place your building. And my guess is that I would like to place my building in this area, and I have to be very, very careful in terms of not butting out of here. Right there seems to be like a very good place to put my building. Let's backtrack to the site over here. It seems like this is the area where you're going to get enough mileage right there. I'm just going to draw a model line, architecture model line. I'm going to draw a line. So right there with that kind of a view, it seems like that's where you would like to place your building, perhaps go parallel to this, and it makes sense for your building to be parallel to this line. You can get right on top of the site, get on the top of the site and make it parallel to this and build your view in that direction.